Hey Doc, so how'd you get into coaching?
Coaching for me was an accidental blessing. What had happened initially was it was a selfish indulgence that I wanted to take upon. You know, we're talking back in 1999. I was an athlete, somebody that really appreciate, getting sweaty, getting fit, looking good, for the sake of vanity's sake. And as you get older, you move into the workforce. You find a relationship, you move to the workforce, you have a family. Fast forward to 2005, I'm 290 pounds, traveling in software, working 60, 70 hours a week, 3 weeks a month, and then 1 week at home. So to give you an example of a week in my life is, you get on a plane on a Monday, you travel across the entire United States. By Wednesday, you jump on another plane that takes you internationally. So now you're in Asia, 24 hours later on a plane. You get there. Do you think you want to sit there and have a salad when you get to Singapore? No, you're going to get there, you're going to sit down, you're going to have a 26-ounce bone-in ribeye. You're going to have the best alcoholic beverage you could possibly have, maybe a 27-year-old Jameson. And then when you're done, you're going to have some ice cream because you just spent 25 hours on a plane. So put that on for 5 years, and you're more than the statistical 10-pound increase a year. So now, 2005, I'm walking around just sub 300 pounds. Singularly created a term called uniback. Now, if you're not familiar with what uniback means, it's when your back and your butt is just one unit, right? So you have one uniback. That's what I had. I was like a uniback gorilla. And sitting there in Singapore, I realized that I couldn't see my toes over my belly, and I had an emotional breakdown. That's what it comes down to. And I called my mother from Singapore, and I said, "Mom, I'm fat." She said, "Oh, no, son, you're not fat. You're just big bone." And I was like, "Wait a second, I'm a scientist. I'm not big bone. My bones are no bigger than yours. I'm fat." You never told me I was fat. And that's what happens to most of us, is that it sneaks up on us. And we wake up one day and, we're obese, and we've got cardiovascular problems, we've got libido problems, we've got anger problems, we're depressed. And we don't realize that it's all based on just being unfit. So, 2005, I said, enough's enough, and I'm watching TV, and I did what any sensible human being would do, and I bought an infomercial for working out, right? And, I get it, I'm just really excited, I get it in the mail, wow, look at my box, wow, and I did what every other person does when they get an infomercial video. I put it on a shelf, and it stood there for a week, and then it stood there for a month, and it stood there for 3 months, and then 5 months. And as the universe would have it, I'm again working at a hotel, traveling, when the guy from the infomercial walks into the hotel, and I'm like, "Hey, is your name so-and-so?" He's like, "Yeah, who wants to know?" And I said, "Well, my name is Socrates." He's like, "Socrates, the philosopher, how do I know you?" And he's like, I said, "Well, I've got your program." And he was like, "What?" He looked at me up and down. He said, "You got to push play." And that hit me, and I was like, wow. Fast forward. So now it's 2009. So it started 2005. I was fat, sick, about to die. Now it's 2009. From 2005 to 2009, I've had months that I was up. I had months that I was down. I never had a steady, consistent transformation or change in myself that was sustainable. With frustrations, I kept learning and teaching myself more and more about my body. It took another 4 years, took another 4 years, 2013, everything that I was doing was not sustainable. What I mean is going to the gym, fad diets, fat's good for you, fat's not good for you, meat's good for you, meat's not good for you, soy is good for you, soy is not good for you, almonds good for you, almonds are not good for you, rice is good, no, rice is not good, GMO is good, oh, no, GMO is not good, it's just there's too much noise out there for me, and I needed to figure out something that that was going to work for me, right? And I figured if it worked for me, then it could work for my closest friends. And 2013 came, and that's where Men was born. And coaching is something that I happen to have to do because it's the rent that I pay to live the life that I live. So if I don't coach, then I am being selfish. If I don't coach, I am not doing for my fellow man. If I don't coach and I hear somebody that I love dies because of obesity or because of cardiovascular disease or because they took their life because of depression or because of whatever reason, I feel guilty if I'm not part of their life, if I don't speak to them about the Men program, if I don't speak to them